Hi, everybody. It's Julie here with True Health Change. I want to welcome you to this informative session on how you can get support from your spouse on your weight loss journey. And you know what? This is not only, these techniques that I'll be teaching you today are not only ones that you'll use on your spouse, but they are also methods that you can use with anybody that you need to get their buy-in, their support on something it is that you want to accomplish. So welcome and thank you for joining. Hi, Belinda. Thank you for coming today. So here's the thing, why I decided I wanted to do this live event, because I keep hearing this over and over again from moms who are super frustrated, feeling like they cannot be successful because they can't get the buy-in from their spouse. And this happens in a lot of different ways. Things that I'm hearing from others are, they'll say something like, okay, well, I've been doing really good on my diet and everything's going fine. And then my husband's like, hey, let's go get ice cream, or comes home with a bag of chips, and I love chips and I can't resist them. And he just does things like that that totally derail me. And for others, I hear all the time that their husbands say, stop wasting your money on all of these programs. They don't work. Or don't join that gym because you're not going to go anyway. So don't throw away that money. Don't buy those workout clothes, because you're never even going to wear them. I don't know. The examples, I guess, are just limitless. They just keep on going and going of all the reasons why spouses come up with why you shouldn't do X to achieve your goals. And the key is, and I just want to kind of take a few steps back and acknowledge that, I mean, I don't know your spouse personally, but likely that person is not a bad person. You married them for a reason. You love this individual and they love you. So the problem is not necessarily with the individual, but how the process has been brought up in the past, or past scenarios that have left kind of a bad taste in their mouth. So I get it though, it's frustrating. And honestly, when I look at which clients of mine are super successful, it is the ones who do have the support and encouragement from their spouse. And I don't want to say that people can't be successful without that. They certainly can, but why not just get their support from the get-go to ensure that you are more likely to have that success that you are hoping for. So let's kind of get diving into the process for getting their support. And I'm going to do this in two parts, as I mentioned before. So today, or I guess in the post that I've been doing, but today I want to talk about the steps to get their buy-in and support as you're starting an endeavor. So, whether you want to go on a new diet program, or you want to join the gym, or whatever it is that you want to do to to achieve your goals, you want to get their buy-in for it. And that's what I'm going to cover today. And then next Thursday, same time, same place, I am going to talk about what to do or how to prevent them from derailing you when you're already in that program, or you've already started down that path. So getting started in today, I want to just, sorry, I just want to look at my notes. I've got so much I want to cover today and I don't want to miss anything. So I'm going to keep on looking to make sure I'm on track. Where we typically aren't getting their buy-in is because the way we're going about it is not necessarily ensuring a yes from them, and they don't see the benefits. All that they know is what the past has told them. And chances are there's been a diet or two in the past. Okay, so if we go to our spouse and say, hey, babe, I am going to start on Jenny Craig again. Do you see the red flags right there? Like, I'm going to do this again. The fact that you're doing it again means you failed once. So right there, the red flags are going off for the spouse saying, we wasted, I don't know, $3,000 on Jenny Craig last time. It did nothing for you. We still have, I don't know, crappy, dehydrated, frozen food sitting around from before that never got eaten because they were disgusting, and you're gonna do this again? So they're like, no, I don't want you to waste that money. So can you understand their hesitation with that? So it's in how we approach that situation. Um, some other ways that I see people approaching it wrong. Oh, this sorry, I had to look at my notes real quick, but this one is hilarious from an outsider's perspective. But we often see people, hi Jen, thanks for joining, um, say, hey babe, notice our family is getting fat. This is ridiculous. We need to do something about it. We're going on a diet. Ah, that's gonna send your husband running for the hills. The whole we thing. This is a you thing, okay? This is your decision. You're not happy with your current state. Maybe you're not happy with the state of the current family, but we've got to really hone in on the fact that we're only in control of ourselves. We can certainly lead by example and provide better alternatives for people, but we can't force anybody else to do something that we want to do. So that's another thing that's gonna send your spouse into a very confrontational, no kind of state, because it has a major impact on their life, one that they're not ready for. So be really cautious about that. So if you're thinking, okay, we're the whole family, we're all going on a diet, I just want to stop you right there, because that's not going to be the right approach, and you're not going to get the buy-in and support, and it's going to be an uphill battle. And the problem with that is that when you're going to battle for your whole family and they're fighting you along the way, you're all going to lose. You can't have that success. What would be a better way is to have that personal success and let everybody see how amazing you feel and provide those opportunities for them without pressure, and let them make the decisions to get on board. So kind of just talking about some ways that we've done it wrong in the past. Now I want to talk about how to make it more successful going forward. So, oh, sorry, one other thing I wanted to mention, just so you could see it from your spouse's perspective. A lot of us are moms, we have kids. How many times have your kids tried a sport or an after-school activity or a musical instrument, and they really, really, really wanted to do it? And so you invested in it. You went out and you bought a violin, and you invested in lessons for them. And they promised you they were going to practice and do all of this, and they really wanted to do it. And they got into it maybe 4 weeks into it, and all of a sudden they're like, Mom, I hate this. I don't want to do this anymore. And you fought them for a little while, and eventually, fine, you don't have to do it anymore. And then the next thing comes up, and they're like, oh, Mom, I really want to do this. And same thing happens. They get into it for a couple weeks, and then they hate it. And you're like, but you committed to it. You promised it. You told me you'd be successful. And if that happens over and over again, eventually it gets really hard to say yes. That's the same thing going on when there's multiple diet attempts, where especially when there's a monetary investment, whether it's being joining a gym, investing in specific food items that you need to have, or going into a program, whatever it is, when you're asking permission from your spouse, hey, I want to do this, and you do it for a couple weeks and then you stop, and then another month goes by and you're like, hey, I want to do this again, and then you stop again, same thing. They start getting frustrated with you because it's like, you keep telling me you want to do this, you want to see the results, but you're not, and you keep giving up. Why should we invest in this anymore? You're throwing away money that we can use on a vacation or something like that. So just kind of looking at it from their perspective in that way and understanding it a little bit more tends to help. Now, I'm not saying give up on your hopes, and I'm not saying you're going to fail again, because that's obviously not what I want. And I know you can be successful. You just need the right program. And hopefully we'll help you find that as well. So here are the key things that you need to consider going into a conversation. So first of all, you do need to have a conversation. You do need to get the buy-in from your spouse. A lot of times I hear people saying, well, I'm going to ask my spouse, and then they have the conversation in their head with their spouse. How's this going to go? You know, we all kind of do that little preparing for the conversation. I don't want to say a replay, a pre-play of how that conversation's going to go. You're like, well, I'm going to tell him this, and he's going to say no because of this, and he's going to get mad at me because of this, and tell me I can't do it because of this. And so you get this whole idea of how the conversation's going to go in your head. So then you never actually have it in real life. So that's the first key in this, is you actually have to have the physical conversation with your spouse. You cannot talk yourself out of it. And I will tell you, give your spouse some credit. If you plan for it well and you go about it the right way, you are likely to be very surprised with how well this conversation might go. So first step, or not step, that's not a step. Way to prepare is to actually plan to have the conversation, no matter how things have gone in your head previously. Give them a little credit. Okay, other thing in pre-planning for it, this is something that is about you, and I cannot stress that enough. It has nothing to do with your spouse. You need to keep the emphasis on you. And by doing so, they won't get defensive. So we want to disarm them, any defenses that they might have. And timing is everything. Do not have this conversation right as you or your spouse are walking in the door, or if your family's really busy and you're running off to another thing pretty soon. Make sure that you're doing it in a time where there is downtime. I once heard that the best time to have a meaningful conversation is in the car, because everybody you have their undivided attention. So I'm a big proponent for that. If you're going to be in the car for 10, 20 minutes, that is a great time to start this conversation. Definitely don't do it before the sporting event that they like to watch is about to come on TV or whatever, something like that. Make sure they have no reason to be running off away from the conversation. All right, so the actual steps of this conversation, I really encourage you to write this down. And it's something that you're going to want to practice ahead of time. So there's in total 4 steps, and I like to call them POPY, P-O-P-Y. So I don't know. I remember from elementary school, if you have acronyms, it helps you remember things so much better. So use the POPY acronym. The first thing is state the problem. So why are you feeling the need to start this weight loss endeavor? Did you go to the doctor? Did the doctor tell you you are pre-diabetic, you're insulin resistant, you have high triglycerides? Are you fearful that you're about to end up like your parents who maybe died at an early age or have these diseases? Do you see that writing on the wall? State that problem first. And it would sound something like this. Honey, I am really concerned. I just got back from the doctor. I found out I am insulin resistant, and that means that's a precursor to diabetes. Or if it's maybe it's just you don't have any health concerns, it's just you want to lose weight. What is the problem with that? So, babe, I have gotten really, really uncomfortable with my size. I seem to keep gaining weight. I am miserable. It is really affecting my confidence. So whatever it is, I want you to hone in on that problem, and just the more it means something to you, the better. So really think about what's that overarching problem that's driving you to want to make this change. The O, so step 2 in Poppy, O is ouch. What really hurts about this problem? And this is where you're going to just dig in deep. So in the example where you are insulin resistant, you see the writing on the wall, you're going to be a type 2 diabetes, I can't talk, you're going to be a type 2 diabetic within a couple of months if you don't make the change. So what's the big ouch of that? And for you, it might be the cost. Babe, if I don't do something now and I actually become diabetic, the cost of insulin is $500 a month. We can't afford that. Or if maybe you're concerned about the other health effects. I am scared to death of not seeing our kids walk down the aisle. I'm scared that I won't see them graduate from college or even high school. So where is that big ouch, that big pain point, and drive it in and really feel it for yourself and make them feel it too. Like they feel bad for you. They are getting this, that, oh my gosh, I don't want my wife feeling this way. So just really drive it in. Again, if you don't have any health concerns, there's still a big ouch if it is in your weight. Is your weight affecting your confidence at work? Is it affecting your energy? I don't feel like I'm being a very good mom. I don't feel like I'm a good spouse because I have no energy. All I want to do is come home and grab a bag of chips and collapse on the couch. I'm not being effective. I want to live life. I want to do more with the family. I want to go out for a walk. I want to laugh and play and have fun, but it's so hard. Like, this is driving me into a depression. So just like really just ouch, ouch. Why does this hurt so bad? And do some soul searching before the conversation with your spouse. And what is so painful about your current situation? Okay. The more they can feel your pain, the more they want to help you get out of this pain. So that's an ouch. Poppy, what's the problem? Ouch. How does it hurt? And also, I would say when you're thinking about your ouch, if they've had previous objections that you're aware of, you can incorporate that into the ouch. So maybe if they're concerned about the finances, again, going with the cost of the insulin, that's a huge ouch. If they're concerned with, oh gosh, now I can't think on the spot. I don't know. You type your concerns if you have any concerns. What concerns your spouses have come up with in the past, and I'll incorporate those into a possible ouch. But yeah, I don't know why I can't think of any more ouches right now. But we got that. Okay. So the next part of Poppy is, what's your plan? Okay. So I find it really helpful to recognize what went wrong in the past when explaining what our plan is. So you can say, going back to that, I want to join Jenny Craig again, right? So yeah, I previously failed at Jenny Craig. And here's why I want to try this other thing. So, or it might be, what I've recognized in the past is that the problem was not necessarily with the diet that I was on, but I realized that I've had these behaviors for 30 years now, for 40 years now. I have always turned to food when I'm sad. I have always eaten out of boredom. Whatever it is, whatever your behaviors have always been. So I recognize now that I need to change my habits. I need to change my way of dealing with situations. And this program is designed to teach me how to deal better with my past associations with food, or it's designed to help me recreate new relationships with food. So kind of when you're thinking about your plan, again, recognize what went wrong in the past and what needs to be different to see your success this time. So that right now we're taking away any defenses that they might have based on, well, you didn't do this in the past, so why is it going to be different? What's in it for you to really have that success that you want to see? All right. Okay. The fourth step is in Poppy is the your turn. Okay, so we have gone through and we've stated what we want to do, but we're in a conversation. We're not sitting them down for a speech. You know, this is a conversation, a two-way situation. So now we want to open it up to them and recognize that they are part of your decisions and will be integral in this plan of yours going forward. So some examples of how to open it up for them are, what are your concerns about this? Or what have I missed in this? You know, just really trying to get their input. Sometimes you might even say, do you have any fears in moving forward? Or in me moving forward. And I will tell you that that is a huge thing that people don't consider, is the fears that their spouse might have. And this is really valid. Some spouses might fear, well, if you get healthy and skinny and I'm still a fat slob, you're not going to love me anymore, or you're going to find somebody better. And that is a real concern that people have. There might be other fears that they have of, you're going to force me to eat the crap that you're eating. I don't know. So really allow them time to express concerns or fears that they might have for you starting on this new path. And then with that, it's really important that they feel heard from you. So restate is key. After they've expressed their fears or their concerns, you actually have to use their words back at them. And some people think it sounds a little bit ridiculous, like I'm just mimicking them, but that's not how it goes. It allows them to feel heard. So actually use their exact words to say, I can appreciate how you're nervous that I might make you eat the same foods that I'm eating and you don't like those foods. Or let me see, what was the other example I used? Oh, that you might leave them. That would, again, I can appreciate that you're fearful that I might not love you anymore. Okay, so state their words back to them. They have to feel heard. Don't argue with them. Don't just say, well, that's stupid. I would never leave you for somebody else. I love you. Okay, you're not hearing them. You have to first acknowledge that you have heard them. Okay, and then actually restate what you've said, which acknowledges that you've heard them, but then acknowledge their concerns, not in an argumentative way, but in a way that gives validity to their concerns. So something like, if their concern was, well, I'm scared you're going to throw away a couple $1,000s again and not see any results. So again, we're going to restate, I hear you. You're afraid I'm just going to be throwing away money again. And then acknowledge it. I've thought about that too. And that's the last thing I want. And how I plan to make sure that that doesn't happen is that I'm doing this program that's helping me change my behaviors, the things that have always derailed my success in the past. Okay, so acknowledge their concerns. So it might be, yeah, I like that a lot, that, yeah, I thought about that too. But if you haven't, if it's something that you totally just didn't expect, you're not prepared for, acknowledge that too. Say, you know what? I didn't consider that. And I am sorry you feel that way. How can we make sure that that doesn't happen? Again, and we're stating all of this in a very positive way, like this is gonna happen. I want to make sure this happens. My goal and the plan that I have for achieving my goal, but how do we make sure that things don't get in the way? I like hearing your concerns, and let's make sure that it doesn't derail my success. Okay, so that is my tip for the process for getting the buy-in from the spouse and the support. Poppy, state the problem, ouch, make it hurt, or explain how it hurts. P, what's your plan of action? How is it going to be different from last time? How are you going to be successful at it? And then why your turn. And with your turn, make sure you are hearing them and working through this. This is where that conversation is going to happen. And I know that if you follow these steps, you are so much more likely to get the support you need from your spouse so that you can be successful in your journey. I hope this helps. And so again, next Thursday, same time, same place, we are going to be talking about what to do when to prevent your spouse from derailing your success after you have gotten started in your program. I can't wait to see you next time. Bye-bye.